The gate creaks at dawn, and a lone rider cuts across the cold light of Hudson Valley. Hooves drum the earth, breath hangs like silver smoke, and a familiar name rises in every Heartland fan heart. Georgie. This is the moment we have been waiting. For the trailer rolls in with a quiet rush. The ranch wakes, the wind moves through the trees, and the camera finds the barn lights, a soft glow that feels like home. You can feel the weight of time, the miles Georgie has ridden, the choices she made, and the pull that always brings her back to this family, to these horses, to this land. The music lifts in that steady Heartland way, warm yet brave, and we catch hints of the season mood. Courage under pressure, healing after distance, love that takes work and keeps giving back. A saddle is lifted, a hand runs down a horse neck, a small smile flashes, then vanishes. The kind of smile that tells a whole story without a single word. Names float through your mind. Amy, Lou, Jack, Tim, everyone holding the ranch together in their own way. And now the thought that changes the air. Georgie returns, not as the kid who first ran from her past, but as a young woman who knows what she wants. The trailer never shouts it outright. It lets the feeling build, a silhouette in the arena, a ribbon from long ago, a text on a cracked phone screen, the sound of a gallop that hits a rhythm you know by heart. Heartland has always been about second chances and the work that comes with them. So when the trailer teases this homecoming, it is not just a surprise, it is a promise. Fresh trials will rise. Old bonds will breathe again, and the show will test what family means when people change and still choose one another. The camera lingers on a stall door, on a bridle hook, on the arena. Dust spinning in a shaft of light. Each small image saying the same thing. Get ready. You can sense a racetrack in the distance, a competition that asks more than speed, a coach barking orders, a friend offering quiet support, and somewhere inside it all, Georgie facing the mirror and finding her focus again. This is not only about winning a buckle or crossing a finish line first. This is about coming home with a new strength and placing it on the table for everyone to see and trust. For longtime fans, these seconds hit deep. They carry memories of daring jumps and hard lessons, of nights when the family sat around the table and worked through the mess together. For new viewers, the trailer opens a door wide enough to step through. Here's a world where horses tell the truth, where people try, fail, learn, and try again, where love is not loud, but it lasts, and where a rider who left can still find the path back by the sound of a hoofbeat and the smell of hay. The last beats of the teaser hold on the arena rail. The leather creaks, a breath is held. A voice off screen says it is time, and the cut lands like a heartbeat. You know what that means. Season 19 is not just another chapter. It is a turning point, and Georgie is the spark that sets it in motion. Stay with me as we dive into what this return could mean for everyone on the ranch. Because the trailer does more than tease. It sets the stage for a season built on grit, grace, and the power of coming back when it counts asterisk. When Georgie first rode into Heartland all those years ago, she was the restless girl with sharp edges and a wild streak that matched the horses she loved. She came from a broken past and carried walls so high that even Amy struggled to reach her. Over time, those walls cracked, not because life became easier, but because she learned what trust really means. She found a place at the ranch, she found a calling in the saddle, and she discovered that talent without discipline is only half the story. Fans remember the daring jumps, the competitions where her fear clashed with ambition, and the way she fell and got up again. That history is not just background. It is the heartbeat of why her return matters now. The trailer hints at this memory lane without spelling it out. A glimpse of the practice ring, the thunder of hooves echoing against wooden rails, the focused look in her eyes. It all reminds us that Georgie was never an ordinary rider. She was a dreamer who chased freedom at full speed. When she left, the story felt unfinished, like a song cut short. Heartland Season 19 is picking up that melody again, and it promises a verse we have never heard before. The audience can feel it, the energy of unfinished business waiting to be resolved. Her journey is not only about trophies or winning medals. Georgie has always symbolized resilience. She stood for the idea that no matter how messy your start, you can grow, you can build, and you can belong. Her story connected with younger viewers who saw themselves in her stubbornness and her courage. For older fans, she carried the same spark that once drove Amy to find her own path with horses. Now the trailer suggests that these two women may stand side by side once more. Not as teacher and student, but as equals. That possibility alone shifts the entire balance of the show. And yet, every return comes with a price. The family has moved on in her absence. Amy has carried heavy burdens. Lou has stretched herself between leadership and home. Jack has held the ranch together with quiet strength. Georgie stepping back into this world could stir both joy and tension. Old bonds will be tested. New conflicts will rise. Viewers sense that her comeback is not just about nostalgia. It is about sparking change. The trailer lets us see only fragments, but the message is clear. Heartland is preparing for a season where growth collides with history, and where Georgie's choices will ripple through every corner of the ranch. The most powerful trailers never hand you the whole story. They give you flashes that spark your imagination. Heartland Season 19 does this by framing Georgie's return as more than just a reunion. It feels like a shift in the ground beneath the ranch. Every quick shot hints at tension and growth. You see Amy standing in the arena, her expression calm yet burdened, almost as if she is bracing for the changes ahead. You see Lou at a town meeting, her voice steady but her eyes carrying worry, as if decisions about the ranch and the family weigh heavier than ever. You even catch Tim leaning against the fence line, his jaw tight, suggesting that Georgie's presence may reopen questions he thought were settled long ago. This is not the simple story of a rider coming back home. It is the story of what happens when the person who left has grown in ways the family never witnessed. Georgie has lived, trained, and competed in worlds far beyond Hudson Valley. She is bringing that experience back with her, and the trailer suggests she is not willing to stay in the shadow of anyone. That sets the stage for sparks, both inspiring and challenging. Fans have long wanted to see her rise fully into her own identity, and Season 19 appears ready to give us that moment. What makes this return even more unique is the way it touches the younger generation of Heartland. The show has always balanced the wisdom of Jack with the drive of those who came after him. Georgie represents the bridge between past and future. She carries the memory of being the troubled teen who found healing in horses, but now she rides in as the adult who can guide others. The trailer shows quick cuts of new riders, younger kids training in the ring, and Georgie watching with a mix of pride and determination. This could mean her role is not only about chasing her own dreams, but also about passing the torch, shaping the next chapter of Heartland in a very real way. Every fan knows Heartland thrives when personal lives and horse stories collide. The teaser makes sure we see that. Horses rear against stormy skies. A rider pushes too hard and stumbles. A moment of silence in the barn carries more weight than words. These images are not random. They hint at trials where Georgie's choices will matter, where her voice will influence not just competitions but the heartbeat of the family. And in the quiet after those flashes, you realize the truth. This season is not about returning to what was. It is about building what comes next, with Georgie standing at the center of it all. Every return in Heartland carries more than joy. It carries change. And Georgie's comeback in Season 19 is written in that same rhythm. The trailer holds back the details, but you can see the weight of decisions waiting on every character. Jack may smile when she steps into the barn, but behind that smile lies the quiet question of whether the ranch can hold together with so many voices pulling in new directions. Amy may welcome her back with open arms, yet there is an edge of uncertainty, because two strong riders in the same arena can either lift each other higher or clash until the dust rises. The most striking promise of this season is how it balances family bonds with fresh ambition. The trailer shows a moment of triumph, a jump cleared against the sunset, then cuts quickly to a tense dinner table, eyes locked, words unspoken. This is the balance Heartland has always mastered, where victories in the ring spill into struggles at home and where personal wounds heal only when people learn to lean on each other again. Georgie's presence is the spark that reignites those themes, pulling old conflicts back into the light while planting the seeds of new ones. What makes it even more powerful is the way the trailer captures the land itself. Wide shots of the valley roll across the screen, horses running free through open fields, the ranch building standing tall against the horizon. These images are more than scenery. They remind us that Heartland is not just a family story. It is a place that demands resilience. When Georgie returns, she is not only reconnecting with people, she is returning to the ground that shaped her, to the rhythm of hooves and the unspoken language between rider and horse. That connection has always been her compass, and it looks like Season 19 will test whether she can still follow it. The final beats of the teaser pulse with energy. A voice says time is running out. A gate slams shut. A rider takes off at full speed and the screen fades before we see the outcome. That is the promise the trailer leaves with fans. This is not just another chapter in the long story of Heartland. It is a season built on high stakes, on questions that cannot be ignored, and on the return of a character who will force everyone to face the truth of where they stand. Georgie's comeback is more than a headline. It is the heartbeat of Season 19, and it is ready to carry the show into a bold new direction. Heartland has always been more than a family drama. It is a show that carries the beauty of Alberta's landscapes and the grit of everyday ranch life. The trailer for Season 19 leans into that, giving us shots that are both breathtaking and raw. We see horses thundering across open fields, the kind of scenes that remind fans why Heartland feels like home. We see barns glowing with golden light at dusk, and we see storms rolling in across the valley, setting a tone of both wonder and challenge. These moments are not just background. They are emotional cues, telling us that this season will stretch the family as much as it stretches the land they live on. The trailer also teases relationships that have carried the show for years. Lou's leadership continues to face questions, especially as she tries to balance her public duties with the needs of her family. Amy's bond with the horses remains the soul of the story, but the return of Georgie puts her in a new position, as mentor, sister figure, and equal all at once. Even Tim's role looks complicated, with shots that suggest old wounds may resurface. These small glimpses remind us that Heartland never shies away from showing how messy love and loyalty can be, even in the closest families. One of the most striking things about the trailer is how it builds tension without using words. A rider stumbles in the ring. A door slams in frustration. A long look is shared across a dinner table. These are the kind of details that make fans lean forward, wondering what is really happening behind the surface. It feels like the writers are setting up conflicts that will not be simple to resolve. Viewers will need to watch closely because each moment in the trailer points toward bigger storylines, waiting to unfold. And then there is Georgie, standing at the center of it all. The trailer makes it clear that her journey is going to be one of the driving forces this season, but it does not spell out where she is heading. Is she back for competition glory, for family, for closure, or for something entirely new? That mystery is what makes her return so powerful. Heartland is giving us just enough to feel the weight of her presence, but not enough to predict the outcome. That balance of hope and suspense is what makes Season 19 look unforgettable. The wait is almost over, and the trailer makes sure fans know that Season 19 is coming sooner than expected. The release date flashes across the screen with the weight of anticipation, a moment that seals all the excitement the teaser has built. For Canadian viewers, Heartland will air on CBC, carrying on the tradition that has kept the show alive for nearly 2 decades. For international fans, streaming platforms will follow, though sometimes with a small delay, so the conversation online will stretch across borders as everyone gathers to celebrate Georgie's long-awaited return. Heartland has always been more than a local success. It is one of the longest-running family dramas in the world, and the arrival of a new season is a global event. Social media will light up with theories, fan edits, and countdowns. Every time a new clip is shared, the energy builds. The trailer is not just an announcement, it is an invitation to come back to a world where loyalty is tested, where horses heal broken spirits, and where family is the only thing strong enough to carry you through every storm. The beauty of a release date reveal is that it gives shape to the waiting. Until now, fans have only carried rumors, hopes, and guesses. Now they have a day to circle on the calendar, a day to look forward to. The trailer does not only sell the season, It gives people something real to hold on to. In living rooms, in online forums, in groups of friends who have watched since the early seasons, the same thought echoes. It is almost time. And this time feels different. It is not just about another set of episodes. It is about watching a show that has grown with its audience step into a new era. Georgie's return is the symbol of that, and the release date marks the start of a season that promises to carry both the legacy of the past and the hope of the future. Fans are not just counting down to watch a show. They are counting down to see their own history reflected back at them, written in the dust of the ranch, carried in the gallop of the horses, and spoken in the voices of characters they have loved for years. The trailer closes, but the questions it leaves behind are louder than ever. What role will Georgie truly play now that she is back? Will she chase new dreams, mend old ties, or create conflicts that test the very heart of the ranch? This is the beauty of Heartland. It never gives away the whole story. It leaves you leaning forward, waiting for the moment when the pieces finally fall into place. For fans who have stayed with the show since its earliest days, this season feels like a reward, a reminder that patience pays off and beloved characters can return when you least expect them. For new viewers, it is a chance to step into a world that is already rich with history and emotion, yet welcoming enough to feel like home from the very first scene. The return of Georgie is more than a character choice. It is a signal that Heartland is still evolving, still daring to tell stories that matter. Now the spotlight turns to you, the fans who have carried this series across 19 seasons. What do you think Georgie's return means for Amy, for Lou, for Jack, and for the ranch itself? Will she step into leadership, or will her presence shake the balance the family has worked so hard to build? Your theories, your hopes, and your memories are what keep the Heartland community alive. Share them, talk about them, and let your voice be part of the countdown to the premiere. Season 19 is not just another chapter, it is a turning point. The trailer has promised change, challenge, and the kind of heartfelt moments that only Heartland can deliver. So get ready to watch the past and the future collide under the wide Alberta sky. Georgie is home, the ranch is alive with new energy, and the story of Heartland is about to ride further than ever before. The question now is not whether you will watch, it is how you will experience it, and how deeply you will feel it when the gates open and season 19 begins.